Let's talk about manipulation. Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm your beautiful host, Young Buffett, and in today's video, we're going to talk about CLOV. We're going to take a look at what people are talking about. We're going to take a look at what Wall Street Bets is talking about. We're going to take a look at Max Pain, which is absolutely hilarious to watch. And we're going to dive in, take a look at dark pool data, look at the day, look at the options, and probably learn something along the way. Another thing that you might not know, I have a link in the description. You can get up to $50 in free stocks if you sign up with public.com using my code wallstreetstocks. Again, this sounds super commercially and advertising. I don't care if you do this, but if you do, you can get up to $50 in shares. I can get up to $50 in shares. It's a win-win scenario. So why not shill it to my audience, huh? Speaking of audience, Ape Wisdom covers Wall Street Bets, Wall Street Bets New, Wall Street Bets Elite, stock market, investing, SPACs, options, day trading, and short squeeze subreddits. Takes a look at the most trending stocks on Reddit. Number 1 being SPY, which makes sense. Number 2 being Prog. They've had an interesting couple of days. Smile Direct Club as well. Then we have GameStop. BlackBerry had news about some technology thing that they're doing, but again, they are just really volatile. They were subjects to short squeezes and manipulation back during the whole meme squad rally. So keep an eye out on it. Let's see what happens over here with BlackBerry. Don't forget, they are an actual legitimate company. They do a lot in the cybersecurity space. So very interesting to keep an eye out to see how that moves. Then we have Apple, who had some really bad news yesterday, right before the market closed, talking about their supplies and supply chain issues that they're running into. So very interesting to see how that develops. Then we have Sophie, Tesla, AMC, ATER, Alibaba, BBIG, and Clover Health. So Clover Health, overall public sentiment, 65% positive public sentiment. So that kind of is bouncing up and down between 60 to 70 to 75 to 65 and just keeps bouncing back and forth in overall positive or negative public sentiment. So it's interesting to see how people are perceiving CLOV's moves. But nearby words include GME calls again, AMC, SDC, buy, still holding over, like, green, down, wish, ISN, and don't. So again, every day we look at this and it's just interesting. That's all you can really pull from this. It is interesting to see how the stock price moves, or in our case, doesn't move based off of who's talking about what. First on the list, Apple. Again, we talked about that bad news. Tesla, SoFi, GME, BB, Smile Direct Club, Plug, Wish, Amazon, Baba, CLOV. So it is kind of falling off. A couple days ago, it was number 3 on the most talked about stocks on Wall Street Bets. But the reason why we like to take a look at this chart is because of this chart. So let's see what happens when comment volume goes down. A lot of people were excited a couple days ago. Last week on Friday, somebody made a big bet. They went all in, about $4 million or so worth of CLOV shares. The stock price went up on Monday, and now it's kind of just leveling out at $8 a share. Now, why is $8 a share important? Because that's the max pain. So I've been saying this for about a month now, and it's just really fascinating to see how CLOV is actually sticking to that max pain week after week. If you don't know, if you are new here, which, by the way, if you're new here, scroll down, hit that subscribe button. But the max pain for CLOV is 8. That means CLOV needs to close at 8 or just around 8 to cause the maximum amount of pain to the people who are holding calls and puts. It's fascinating to see a stock that is so highly manipulated and controlled get so manipulated and controlled around that $8. So a lot of people are buying calls, right? A lot of people are buying puts. CLOV's not even moving. It's literally just stuck at 8. And a little bit later in this video, we'll take a look at the movement today and check out what price it finally landed on. But CLOV dark pool data also shows how manipulated this bad boy is, with shorts increasing with a net short volume of negative $1.4 million and a negative short volume of negative $11.9 million. There is a slowly increasing amount of shorting going on, which makes sense because why wouldn't you short this thing if it keeps on sticking to that max pain? But jumping into the day, let's see how controlled this thing is. Opened up, went red, went back up, went back down, went back up, saw a peak of 8.7, and then kind of just consolidated a little bit until it kind of just broke down a little bit, broke down even more, tried to recover, almost bounced off that max pain line, which is that red line right there, bounced right back, touched the max pain again, bounced right back, all the way back up to about 805-ish. And look at where we closed. 8. I feel like I'm a conspiracy theorist at this point, but isn't it interesting that CLOV closes exactly on the max pain time after time? We're currently selling a October 15th $8 call. That means if CLOV closes above 8, I have to sell 100 shares at $8. And that's fine because I own 100 shares that I bought for $7.70. So I can give it away for 8. I don't want to, but I can. We collected premium for that, but it's going to be interesting to see if it closes just under or just over. But I'm pretty sure it's going to close within that range. We are keeping a very close eye on it. It is fascinating to see week after week how it moves. But jumping into the all-time chart, I did see some Reddit posts that talked about some technical analysis about how it's replicating a similar movement right before it pops. So if you take a look here, you saw a similar little ramp up until a pop, and then it sold off, because when a stock pops like that, the premiums get juicy, so people like to short it, which makes sense. So it kind of kept dropping and dropping and dropping until now it's slowly ramping back up. Is it going to pop? We don't know. All we can really do is hold, sell some calls in the meantime to pad the stats, and see what happens from here. If you have any questions for me, please let me know in the comments below. I get back to pretty much everything. So with that, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.